Hey guys, welcome back to Bringing Life Home. It's been, probably a couple weeks now since I have posted a video. If you had watched one of my previous updates, I think 1 or 2 videos ago, talked about how I was going to be starting a new job, kind of building towards some goals that we have, some changes and moves that we're making as a family. So I started my new job, which has been just kind of stressful and all over the place, and our normal routine has been kind of non-existent, and we're trying to kind of figure out our new normal, especially during just like the beginning part of this new job. I'm sure things will eventually fall into place and we'll get back into like a usual schedule and routine. But right now things are just kind of like, we take every day as it comes, because sometimes we just don't know what our schedule is going to look like, which, is a really difficult thing for me. I'm very much a planner. I like to make lists. I like to plan ahead and have schedules for what my day is going to look like. And sometimes right now I have no idea what the next day is going to look like, what my schedule looks like, when we're going to do school, if I'm going to be working, if I'm not going to be working. I don't want to dive too much deep into like the new job situation because it's still brand new, and I'm trying to just kind of keep the faith that, all things are going to kind of fall into place as they should be. But I just very much like thrive on routine and, like I said, planning. And so it's been a difficult transition for me right now with not really being able to plan for things very much. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update on how our first month of school went, since we just finished up our first month in September of school and then have started October. We're almost halfway through actually now into October, so this is kind of going to be a little bit delayed update. But as far as September goes for school, and this was just to remind you, before I started my new job, I didn't start until the beginning of October. So September for school was, a perfect month. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better first month back at school and starting first grade for Bella. Things went so smoothly. Our schedule was great. As I've kind of explained in the past, we do reading and writing every day of the week. Then 2 days of language arts, usually like Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then 2 days of math, Mondays and Wednesdays. She also has jujitsu twice a week, and then Fridays are kind of like our elective day. So we do any extra things, like we do like our science studies. We do either social studies or basically just like anything extra that we have planned, or usually happens on Fridays. So it went so smooth, you guys. It was a great month. It was probably one of the happiest parts of my day is when we started homeschool. There really hasn't been any pushback or complaining. We've just had a lot of fun and it's been great. So not too many complaints there. October, like I said, was just kind of like crazy from the get-go because I started the new job. I really did not know like what my schedule was going to be like as far as like training and, meetings, orientations, things like that. So, so far in October, at least like the first week, a lot of school was kind of like up in the air, and we just kind of did what we could. So my daughter focused a lot on her independent work. So she was still doing like her writing every day, and then just a lot of like supplement work that she can do independently. I think I've shown you guys like these school zone workbooks before. So she does these pretty independently, and they're usually just like kind of like the start to our day. Like I've said before, they're kind of like the icebreaker of school. They get, things moving in her mind. But with just like the I don't know if you guys feel this way, but when like you have changes happen in your life, it kind of like not so much like physically exhausts you, but emotionally is exhausting. So even with starting the new job at the end of the day, even though if I had still just worked like a regular 8-hour shift like I normally would and we would do school, I was very emotionally drained at the end of the day with just, you know, so many changes and brand new things and different programs and learning new processes that there were some days where it was just too much for me to do our full school load. So she focused a lot, like I said, on those independent things. She did lots of artwork every day. Her Kiwi Crate subscription came in like perfect timing at the beginning of October, so she was doing that with her dad. So that was part of the first week. They built like, I think they were like instruments, like musical instruments they built this time, which we actually have decided to switch up the Kiwi Crate a little bit. So starting next month, she's going to be doing, I think it's called their Yummy Crate, where they're going to be, she usually does it with her dad, so they're going to be cooking together. So that's kind of exciting, something that we're changing up for her to try out. So that'll be fun. So yeah, so lots of independent work. We were still doing reading, whether she was like reading independently or I was doing read alouds with her. It was more so just like our core curriculum that we have with the Good and the Beautiful for language arts and math that sometimes got skipped. And then kind of like at the end of the week, what would normally be like our extracurricular day, or even I think we did some over the weekend too. I think on Saturday we tried to catch up on those lessons. So they were still being done. It's just our schedule and like normal time of when these things were being done was kind of completely changed up. But my daughter handled it fine. She's my really like laid back child. So whenever I say like, okay, we're going to do school now, or oh, we're going to do it later or not today, she adjusts really well. So that's nice. And I wanted to show you guys actually the read alouds that we've done so far for the year. We started with Monster and Boy, and it was so cute. Like usually with our read alouds, we do like a chapter a day, and given these were short chapters, but my daughter always asked for me to keep reading. Like she didn't want me to stop. So this was a really cute one I recommend. My daughter's 6, so I'm sure there's like an age range of kids that would enjoy this, but if you have a child around that age, I definitely recommend this book. She loved it. It was really cute. I even enjoyed it. And they have a second one. Let's see, this one. So this one I think is just Monster and Boy. The second one, let's see, Monster's First Day of School, I think it says. The writing's like really small in here, but so I want to order the second one for us to read as well, because I know we'll enjoy it. But we didn't have the second one, so we started Pax for our second read aloud, and I can tell right off the bat a big difference of like kind of comprehension level from this one to this one. There's not so much asking for more chapters when we do this read aloud, and I think some of the like bigger words and storyline in this one is a little above her comprehension level, but I ask her every day if she still wants me to continue to read it and if she's enjoying it, and she says yes. So we're continuing on with it, but I think looking back, maybe I would have waited another year just for her to like, kind of comprehend the story behind this a little bit more, but I do still recommend it. I think it's a good read so far. We're only about almost halfway through, so still a lot more to go with the story before I can really give a full review. But this is the second read aloud that we've gotten into that we've still been trying to do every day if possible. So once I got into October, at least on like, so the main days of like math and language arts, writing, reading, those have been going, you know, fine. But on Fridays for our extracurricular day, I was starting to kind of feel like maybe we could add something more. Like we were getting through our science lessons and writing and reading really quickly, and I just kind of felt like she could use more. So I was looking through some of the other supplements that we have because I usually buy more stuff like at the beginning of the year that I don't know if we're quite going to get into, but I like to have extra stuff just in case when we do finish things, we have something else that we can just kind of replace it with. So one of the books that I had gotten is like a supplement, was this first grade workbook. I tend to get these like at Costco, but I know you can also, I think, get them at Sam's Club or on Amazon. We've gotten the preschool one in previous years, kindergarten. There's also like a toddler age one, and then I've got this one as well. And I always get these just as something like extra, or like if we were to go on a car ride and we want to do some school in the car. Or these also have like perforated pages, so if you ever just want to like take a couple extra supplements of one of these subjects like math or something, they rip out really easily. So yeah, it's just something that I always like to get these as like an extra resource for when we have time. But I was looking through it and I was thinking, you know, we're fine on like the math, reading, writing, grammar, and science so far. We're covering all of that, but they have a maps section and we haven't gotten too deep into geography. And I'd been wanting to get us like a globe for a while because I knew obviously we would start getting into more geography. So I was thinking we would start doing some geography on Fridays for our elective day. It's very basic, great for her age. Obviously, it's a first grade workbook, but they go over, let me look at the whole map section. So like, what is a map, making a map, what is a globe, difference between maps and globes. So a very good like intro to geography. They're talking about like directions, near and far, left and right, which we've already kind of gotten into with the good and the beautiful. So some of this will be, you know, not new for her. But as far as using like map symbols, doing a treasure map, that'll be fun. Our continent, the United States, state maps, map review. Yeah, so there's about, let's see how many pages. There's probably a little over 40 pages of different lessons for the map section. So I was thinking we would just do one or two of these every Friday. Like, so we'll do our usual stuff, science, writing, reading, and then do a little geography lesson. So we could just do one or two pages and it would just kind of add a little bit to our schedule that I think we're lacking right now. So yeah, so I am going to start working out of that starting this coming Friday. And I ordered us on Amazon our first globe. So it's not huge, it's actually perfect because we really don't have a whole lot more room right now for school supplies. We're kind of like busting at the seams. If I haven't mentioned this before, we don't have like a specific homeschool room. It's kind of like half of my office is our homeschool stuff, but then we usually do school like in our living room on our couch or floor or something. But yeah, so I got us this globe that we could use along with it, and we've already obviously set this up, and my daughter has been playing with it and looking at it and asking questions, and so we've already kind of done some little mini lessons on a globe and where we're at, where the other countries are at, things like that. So I'm excited about that. That's really the only like change I think that we're adding in for October that will be different than our first month. And I also have, which I've already kind of showed you guys during one of my beginning of the year hauls, is this little like puzzle map of the United States that I got from the like $5 section at Target. I don't know, so this doesn't say the price on it, but I'm assuming this was one of the items that was like $3 or $5, probably not $1. But this is just something else I was going to add in while we start our geography. So nothing too crazy or overwhelming, just kind of like learning about maps and globes and like where we live, you know, in relation to other people. So I think that this is going to be fun. I'm excited about it. I can tell my daughter's excited about it. And that's just kind of a nice part of homeschool, is that you can add things or take things away whenever you want. So if you have lots of changes happening in your life, things going on where you need to scale back a little bit, you can. And then where you feel like there's days that you could use more and your child hasn't quite had enough, then you can add more in. So these are kind of one of those things where it's like certain subjects I don't know when, based off my daughter's interest or age, when's going to be the best time to incorporate them. So I just kind of feel things out with her and see where she's at and how much I feel like, you know, she can handle. So I'm excited about adding something new in. And yeah, I think that is it, you guys. So we're halfway through October. Like I said, things have been a little crazy this month because of starting the new job. So we're trying to kind of adjust to our new normal, adding in geography. And oh, I wanted to touch on one other thing when I was talking about reading that I wanted to share with you guys. So usually every day my daughter will do some independent reading with like one of her readers, and then I will do a read aloud. And we've basically like gone through all of her readers, like, because she reads like one a day, and some of them obviously, you know, she's read more than once. But last week, so it'd be like the second week into October, she got a really bad cough and cold and was just having a hard time reading. So I looked into, or I'd heard about this like app in a homeschool group that I'm in called Vooks. So like video books, VOOKS, where it's like an animated book that they're reading to you, where the pictures kind of move and they highlight the words as they go. And so I was thinking, you know, she's having a hard time, you know, being sick with reading aloud right now. So I wanted to try out these video books. So I'm going to try and link a picture here to show you guys the app. This is like the Android version, so I don't necessarily know, you know, if there's an iPhone version or if it looks the same or not, but just look up Vooks, and it's actually free for homeschoolers when you sign up. And so the past couple days has been the first time that we've tried it out, and it was super cute. I love it. The animation is really pretty. We had tried, what was the other one? Oh, Epic, that a lot of people recommend, that has books that will either read to you, or I think you can like turn the sound off if you want. And she really just wasn't that into it, and there wasn't like enough animation or color. And so far with Vooks, it seems like there's a lot more that kind of like excites the reader as they're watching it. And like I said, it has kind of like the animation and moves a little bit more of things on the page to get the child engaged in the story. So we started that, and so I'll try and link a picture here to show you guys, because I would definitely recommend it for, I mean, any of your kids too, if they're like struggling reading and want something like an audio version, or on times like with my daughter where she's sick, kind of losing her voice or coughing while reading, having something where it can read to her, but she can visually still see the words and help her with her reading. It's a great choice. So I definitely wanted to fit that in here and recommend it to you guys. So yeah, the the books and the geography are really the only things that excuse me, we've changed up for October, and I'm excited about them both. So yeah, that's my update for now. I'm really hoping that as this new job progresses and I get through this initial kind of like training phase, that we get back to our normal and I can start you know, doing more videos for you guys, because I definitely miss that. It's just been so hectic and just kind of like too much for me, and I really want to make sure, you know, I'm having good quality family time as well as focusing on our school. So YouTube just kind of took a back burner. But let me know in the comments how your guys's, you know, school year is going. If you have any recommendations for, you know, when you're going through life changes like this, how you kind of cope with your homeschool. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.